name is Ed Mandelbaum. I'm one of the owners of Designers and Agents, which is a fashion trade event that's held in Los Angeles in the New Mart and held in New York City in the Chelsea district. My grandfather had a factory in the Flatiron district of New York that made the most expensive men's suits. And my father in the 50s started a company using his father's factory that was kind of the epitome of Mad Men suits. That was the flavor of that. My brother and I and a cousin, I think in 1970, started a less expensive suit brand that was called E.S. Aubrey. E, my brother Steve, Aubrey, my father's first name. In fact, my sales company is called Aubrey Company. Somewhere during that period, I moved to Los Angeles and spent 15 years out here in LA, and the tail end of the story you know, which was when I moved back to New York, and that's how the trade show got born.
I am Marianne Piazza. I am the production manager of Designers and Agents. Designers and Agents is an independent trade fair which takes place in New York or Los Angeles. It's for predominantly contemporary designers and specialty retailers, international specialty retailers. So we're a very niche market. A lot of upcoming, a lot of established brands have started with DNA and are recently joining DNA.
I'm Barbara Kramer, and currently I'm a co-founder of Designers and Agents. Our job is to satisfy the needs of the retailer continually so that we know that we are always relevant, that our show is relevant, and also to support our designers because we know that it takes a lot for them to show up at our show. You know, a lot of preparation, the costs involved, time, so we're really, I think, very cognizant of fulfilling both of their needs.
When we started DNA, Barbara and I both, having been Asians, we wanted to do things differently than when we saw out there. We wanted to treat people respectfully. We wanted to not act like, you know, we're the big shots. Otherwise, you're going to get a terrible location. We treat people like they should be treated.
DNA has a real, you know, family-friendly environment. So everyone is truly helpful to each other, and people become really good friends.
You know, I mean, we have a formula that works for us, and it's not about all the pomp and circumstance and all the bells and whistles, you know. I mean, you know, where a lot of other shows have been like, it's all about social media and all of that, we've just been like, no, it's all about product. It's all about great product and putting it in front of the best buyers. And I think that we built our success 17 years in on the fact that the stores always come to our show when they're in town, and that we have a writing show, that they sit down and they write orders and they leave paper, and that the brands that show with us know this about us. And I think that that's something that's really set us apart, is that we are consistently editing, pre-editing the show with the buyer in mind.
A dozen years ago, decided that we needed to play a part in, you know, this ecological, social, making the world healthier. And, you know, we started only having recycled cups and paper plates. And
I mean, even the shows production-wise, we recycle. We try to use all recycled materials, eco-friendly cleaning supplies.
Really?
Yeah, coffee, everything.
We've had many, many programs supporting that initiative. We have something called the Green Leaf, which is for an exhibitor, if they have a certain percentage of their collection that's in that world, they'll get a green leaf on their white sign. If somebody is full-blown in, their whole sign will be green. And we also have something that's called the Green Room.
We launched Green Room in 2007, which is an installation for emerging brands whose product is predominantly produced sustainably or fair trade. So it's grown from that. So a lot of those exhibitors that we offered for Green Room, it is a gifted space For these first-time participants, it's our way of giving back. So a lot of those exhibitors have now become regulars in the show.
You know, we're a show of every category. We don't separate out accessories from ready-to-wear. We merchandise it in like a retailer would. And then we also merchandise the show, so when a buyer walks through our show, they're having their experience of the show is unfolding. So as they're walking down the aisles, they see this clothing brand next to this shoe brand, next to this jewelry brand, and then there's this hat designer, and then and the way it rolls together is like, and this can go with this, can go with this. So the retailer is also able to start sort of imagining what things might look like inside of their own shop.
Joyce and Ethan came to this thing not of how to make money, but they came to this whole relationship on how they can do something good for the industry and for their tenants and for everybody. How could they do something good?
We came here, you know, for our first show and set up in, I think it was on the 5th floor, in an empty space at the end of the hall, and put a sign on a little wooden chair in the window that said Designers and Agents, and there were 5 showrooms. And then the next season there were like 12, and then some of the members in the building went to management and said, we like those guys. When they're in town, we have a busy market, like what can we do to keep them? And
one of the greatest things for me was to hear Joyce, a couple years later, say to me, this was the best business deal I've ever done. So it came back, even though that's not what she was looking for. So no, it's been a win-win, and DNA would not exist if it wasn't for the new one, and Joyce and Ethan.
You know, they saw something that they believed in, and they got behind it, and you know, we've grown together, and I think it's been a positive relationship.